I was born in 1986 in Guatemala, a township outside Springs. My mother was a street vendor. My father was absent. So I grew up watching my mother sacrificing so much to make sure we never go to bed hungry. One of my earliest memories is watching her making fire in a coal stove during winter. It was my first awareness of the act of creation, of putting this thing and that thing together to make something that wasn't there before. My name is Bambo Sibaya, and I believe art can change the world. When I was 13, my mother took me to Mozambique, where she's from. There I met this young artist called Chipoleka, the grandson of the great Mozambican artist Malangatan Ngwenya. Chipoleka was a good friend to me, and he was my first great influence. I would show him my drawings, and he would give me advice. And I think that was when I knew I had to become an artist. In 2001, I met famous South African artist Paul Madipala. He actually dedicated his time to teach a young artist. He took me under his wing and started teaching me privately. He opened my eyes. Paul was murdered outside his house in 2007, but his inspiration stays with me for the rest of my life. After matric, I wanted to study graphic design, but my father refused to pay for my studies. So my uncle Elias paid for my first year. From there I started getting bursaries. My uncle means a lot to me. In many ways, he was a father to me. When I finished my studies, I was looking for a voice, for a story to tell. I immediately thought about my mother, about women, about the strength of women. So I started going out in the street and interviewing beggars. Women who have no choice but to beg on the street because they didn't have any skills to get work. And I started sketching them. This was a difficult time for me. I confronted the pain of my own childhood while I was trying to make a name for myself. People at first rejected the work, but I kept doing it. Seeing the power in it. When I won the Gerald Sikota Award, I felt like the story had come full circle. It was my closing statement, in a way. It was like a healing process. It's when I felt like, I've done it. This is it. This is the end, of talking about that training stories. I needed to I was pretty much happy to move to something else. It was also the first time that I started getting answers from my dad. We started having a normal relationship after that. I think it's quite changed, because even now he lives in a family where there's also women, and he seems to be quite respectful towards the opposite gender, which I'm happy about, yeah. Definitely. I still stay in Guatemala. I don't think I'll ever leave. Before, I had no choice. But now I stay because it's my home. It's my inspiration. I believe art can change the world because I've seen it happen. It changes people who look at it. It changes people who are part of it. It changed me. My name is Bambo Sibaya, and I believe art can change the world.